It won't be public unless you want it to be.
I have no problem with that.
All right, excellent. So here's the very first thing that we're starting off with today. I call it instincts, and basically the question I want to ask you here is instinctually speaking. So I don't want you to calculate or anything. What piece do
Mm-hmm.
you think is the correct piece to move here for white? So out of
The
these four
queen.
pieces,
It's
uh,
the queen.
the queen. All right, why do you say that?
All right. Bishop is completely blocked and can't do anything. The
Mhm.
rook is also not going to be attacking anything, and the queen can deliver a check.
Okay, okay, interesting. A lot of people, when I ask them this question, they actually almost always reply with the rook because they think that if they could get the rook over here somehow to g3, they would win the game, right?
Yeah, but you're gonna do that in 4 turns?
Yeah, that's the problem. You actually can't make it in any number of terms. This puzzle,
Because of the bishop.
yeah, yeah, basically, like he can't get here. He can't get here because this pawn is in the way. This square is guarded by the bishop. This square doesn't achieve anything. This square is guarded by the queen, and this square is guarded by the rook. So, like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people with chess instincts would want to move the rook somehow and get it up this file and get it into the game, but it just isn't possible, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I've been taught to look at immediate checks from puzzles.
Yeah, true, for sure. So, looking at immediate checks, right? There's only one that makes sense, right?
Queen to g5.
Yeah,
And
go
you
ahead.
have perpetual right there if you want.
Mm-hmm. But there's something a little better. Uh, can you spot it maybe?
Oh, do you want me to go back?
No, no, from here, from after Queen G5.
Okay. Oh, then a perpetual. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, better than a perpetual. My bad. Okay, so this, so you're hitting my rook, right?
Oh, no, no, I found the move. I found the move.
Okay, and after I defend?
uh, Good win up on. Oh, no, no, I do this.
Nope, that's not very good.
No, that's not. Ah, damn.
There's something
I'm gonna take the pawn then.
that-
No, not the pawn either. Interesting. Oh.
Okay, that doesn't really make sense. I have this at the end of it. Takes two.
I'm okay. I'm gonna take a second. I'm gonna take a second.
Yeah, no worries. Take your time here. Mhm. There you go.
There.
There you go.
Yeah, that took a bit.
No, I mean now this is just hopelessly lost, right?
It's kind of obvious. Yeah.
Okay. So you found the right tactics, and basically it was just two forks followed by one after the other. But the reason that I showed you this puzzle isn't because it's a difficult puzzle or anything, but it sort of sparks the conversation of how you play chess. So your brain immediately picked up on the fact that these four pieces are all isolated. All of Black's pieces are like socially distancing essentially. And after you make this move with Queen G4 check, they're all far apart from one another, right?
Yes.
And as you can see, they're also not coordinated with each other. So none of these pieces are supporting one another, which means that they're all going to be very, very loose. So your brain immediately picked up on that without you even realizing it, and you went for this fork. And then you went for this fork. Whoops. Um, I guess what I'm trying to explain here is when you say that you play chess by your instincts, what you're really doing is you're finding the smaller patterns in the game that your subconscious just picks up on, even if you don't entirely do the same thing. Even if you're not like consciously being like, okay, all those pieces are like separated, they're not talking to one another, they're not communicating well. I can take advantage of it. Your brain sort of does it for you, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So I guess what that leads into is to sort of like trust your instincts. You immediately knew the second I showed you this position that a queen check was going to be the starting move. And often you'll find in your blitz games that it will be something similar. Well, you'll know what the right idea is, even if you're not entirely sure as to why. And sometimes it just takes a few extra seconds of calculation, and you'll get there. Okay.
Yeah, something I noticed I do is I'll make a move and then because I think it accomplishes something, and then I'll realize that it can be stopped,
Hmm.
and then I'll realize if they actually stop it that way, then I get something better.
Right.
So like I've subconsciously set up a really good move, even if I didn't realize it.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Um. Uh, okay, with that, I also want to wish you a happy birthday. How old are you turning?
Yeah, thank you very much. It's
Very old.
gonna be 14.
Oh, wow. Nice. Um, wow.
Actually, I've already been for a long time online, but now I'm not lying.
Yeah. Damn, that's crazy. I can't believe you're actually only 14. All right, excellent. Uh, here's the Queen's Gambit structure. You asked to learn a little bit more about the Queen's Gambit as well as the Petrov in the thing that
Mm-hmm.
you submitted. So yeah, here it is. Essentially, this is the setup that you're going for in a dream scenario, right? You have this kind of attacking idea. Your knights are good and they control central squares. Let me do that in blue. You have another bishop that is doing God's work, and then you have these rooks that are in the center and ready to attack. And you obviously you're boasting a very, very nice center, right?
Yeah, the queen position interests me, because I usually don't get the queen there.
Oh, really? Where do you normally put your queen?
I'm actually not moving the queen a lot.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Or
Okay. Well, you see, in like the 1800s and stuff, when people were playing like random chess, really just figuring the game out for the first time, a lot of people used to put their queen on e2 because they used to like this square. They used to think it was great, and now pretty much everyone in these kind of structures puts their queen on c7 or sorry c2, because of they like these lines. So yeah, it's a pretty common idea to have your queen on c2, and alternatively for black to have his queen on c7. I'll do that in red, something like this. If that makes sense.
yeah.
Okay, so let's just take a look at some principles and ideas. So immediately after d4, right, controlling the center, if black replied with something like h6, right, what would you play?
Uh, just ignore the queen's gambit and play e4.
Yeah, exactly. Just take control of the center and like basically, call it yours. So that's exactly why black doesn't let you do that and instead plays d5, controlling that square. If black didn't play d5, you would be able to push something like e4 or c4 and enjoy a nice center. So we play c4 anyway, and this is the queen's gambit. And obviously, if you played it at all, then you know that it's nothing like the king's gambit. After something like e6 to support it, um, well, before we go into that line, actually, the decline line, let's capture this pawn. Do you know if this is a good or bad move?
Um, so it depends. For me, what I've learned, I play this actually opening a lot. It can be fine. You can capture it and just then develop as black.
Mm.
The problem comes when you try to defend it. Defending it is like the death sentence.
Yeah, yeah, precisely. Even after something like e3, if black just chooses to give this pawn up and plays a normal developing move like knight c6 or even just c5, black is okay. But the problems start for black when they try to defend the pawn with something like b5. Then,
Yes, I know this line.
yeah. So do you know what the correct move for white here is?
A4.
Yes, exactly. A4, and then basically everything loses for black. If he just captures, then you have queen A4 check, and then you pick up the pawn. If instead he defends even further after A4 with A6, then you can just play A takes. Obviously, this pawn cannot take because it's pinned, so that loses. If he goes something like C6, then do you know this line?
Yes, that's gonna be takes.
Hmm.
Pawn takes pawn. Queen to F3.
Yeah, exactly. And then black basically has to choose which piece they want to give up, right? The rook, the knight, or the bishop. Any of these three pieces
Yeah,
he can choose.
I learned the at this point you're basically lost, but the best line would probably be something like knight to defend to block, and then you'd play like bishop to d4 after captures. That's not awful, but I mean yes it is awful, but it's the worst possible outcome.
Yeah, yeah. This is definitely the closest thing you can have to salvaging this position. But yeah, so generally speaking, even if you're playing black, I don't recommend taking this pawn. In this line, I would almost always recommend playing e6. There's this concept in chess known as tension. You basically want to always preserve the tension. And do you know what tension is?
Yes, letting a bunch of pieces build up, like preparing for a big series of captures.
Yeah, yeah, basically. We say that there's tension in chess when two pieces can both capture one another. So this pawn can capture here, and this pawn can capture here. So we say that there's tension in the position, and generally speaking, it's best to preserve that tension because if you capture, then you're most likely losing out on tempo. Not always, but most likely. Okay? Okay, so I'm gonna move on. The normal line is with knight c3. After something like knight f6, counter controlling, we play knight f3. Uh, are you still there?
Yes, yes.
Right. Something like bishop e7, getting ready to castle, right? A move like bishop d6 is okay, but it normally gets punished after something like bishop g5. And typically, you don't want to leave this weakness hanging forever because even after something like takes, like let's play a random move for black. Like, there's already some complications starting to form, right, on this square because it's a pin.
Right. Oh yeah, I see, I see.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's interesting.
yeah. So typically, you want to put your bishop on e7 immediately, so you're yeah, so that you're negating this future pin. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So typically, it's played anyways, just because you need to get your bishop out somewhere, and this diagonal isn't as promising. But yeah, castles, something like e3, and then knight b d7, and after something like bishop d3, c5, and then we get like you see now why it's so obvious that you want your queen here on c2, right?
Yeah, that seems quite clear, yeah.
Yeah, and black
After,
might someday put their queen here.
yeah, already in this position. Oh no, never mind.
Yeah, this
Okay.
position is like completely equal. I'd say it's like plus point 0.3 if I check with Stockfish. Uh,
Yeah. It looks pretty good for both sides.
yeah, yeah. This is so. This is by no means like concrete theory or anything, but it's just like the general idea in the Queen's Gambit, like what you sort of want to accomplish as white and as black, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, something like b6, and now we castle, and we kind of reach that same structure from earlier, right? Here we were a little more advanced with having a rook in and pushing these pawns up, but it's essentially the same thing, right? So do you see how to get to the structure now?
Yeah, I see how you get there. Two things I actually want to ask about with this structure is if you just like play maybe not a fresh board, but like I'm wondering why you don't push the pawn up too, because other people have asked me that, and I never really thought about it, and I played it just last game where I pushed my e pawn up an extra square, and it I just got more control of the center for it. So why don't you do that?
When would you want to do that? Right here?
Um, no. You'd probably want to do that. What if takes or like, yeah, basically on the takes line.
Oh, okay. So basically, after why do we play e3, right, instead of e4?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, e3 and e4 are both very, very similar moves. It's just, do you want a more solid game or do you want to play a little more experimental with this line? Obviously, in this case, your center is bigger, but it's also less stable, and it can be chipped apart pretty quickly. with something like c5, I'd imagine. Right? Like I can even
Alright.
play c5 immediately.
Yeah.
And like you have this idea as white, but black also has the same idea, right? If you take this pawn and for some reason black doesn't trade queens, like obviously you can't take because this is worse for white. But for example, even if black didn't want to trade queens, he can just play here and then pick up this pawn afterwards.
Yeah. I do see how that could go badly. And another thing that happens to me a lot, uh, in accepted is yeah, you talked about how the pawn on A was pushed up to A3.
Yeah,
Like, when's a good time to do that?
like a4 here.
No, A3 to stop the bishop, because the bishop can be annoying.
Oh, this bishop, right?
Uh, the black square bishop, yeah, when he gets in there.
Uh, well, I mean, it's a little difficult to really like say that objectively, but after okay, let's say after e3 your opponent doesn't try and protect the pawn. Let's say they develop normally, let's say they play knight here. Um you want to play I don't really know if you want to play a3 at all actually. In almost all of these lines after you take here, this bishop should not be a nuisance because you have this move, right?
So that's what you want to be doing. Okay.
Yeah,
So those were my two biggest questions with the Queen's Gambit there.
okay, okay. And let's just play some here, let's not play that move. Let's play this instead so that we can go into this line. Like, here, no, let's actually waste one more move. And then we have this situation, right? Um,
Yeah, I've been here.
yeah, that could potentially pop up. And now you have a lot of solutions. You can just play queen here, hit the knight, and defend this. So now you can capture twice. This is probably the best objective move. This is also okay. It's not, I wouldn't play it, but you can do it and you're fine. So I don't really think of bishop here as a big problem. The only way that it can be a problem is if in some lines c5 gets played once again, and after some more normal moves, you get into this kind of position. Let me just move my pawn up or something, and then you can get into this sort of trouble. Actually, no,
That's
here's
easily solvable.
yeah,
You just take.
yeah. Okay, okay. Different move order. This bishop can't come out yet. I don't know. Here, now, no. Actually, this still isn't possible. But okay, okay. You get the point I'm trying to make, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ye- I think.
I can't find the exact like sensical order to get everything the way I want to be. But even
This seems like an uncommon scenario anyways.
yeah, yeah. Even if black gets to attack this knight 3 times, which is the most that he can realistically attack it, because you don't move your b pawn, you're always okay. You always have enough defenders, basically.
Okay. Yeah.
Like one, two.
Also, he's just trapped his bishop there. An easy,
That's actually
another easy move.
yeah, that's actually a blunder. Let's say black castles, or it's not a blunder, but it doesn't actually thing anything. It doesn't threaten anything. This is not a threat because it's pinned,
Uh,
right?
I see.
Yeah,
But in a couple move, that's not good because you're trying to castle out of this anyways.
yeah, exactly. And if you do ever castle as white, then black can just capture it, and that's usually what happens.
No, they can't. What? Castles? Captures, then what?
That's it.
Captures. What? What do they do now?
Here, right? We still can't capture,
Mm-hmm.
so just castles and just takes, and everything is okay for black. They're not worse or anything. They have b5 ideas. They have bishop here ideas.
Yeah. Alright.
All right, and they also have this idea someday. I know it's not possible with our queen here, but it's going to be possible someday. I promise.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Alright.
Uh, so that's the Queen's Gambit. It's a pretty solid opening, and you'll find that you get into a lot of positions with a lot of symmetry in them, um,
Mhm.
whether or not that symmetry is immediately visible or not. And you need to remember basically this kind of formation with your pieces. Just come back to the study whenever you want. I gave you the link, and essentially just try and remember the structure and try and remember how to get there. Just the move order itself is very simple, just d4, c4, and then you get your pieces out, and everything makes sense, right? I don't think there's anything like outstanding about this about this opening.
Yeah.
Okay,
Ah, it seems pretty standard, but also a little bit more interesting than the normal E4.
yeah, sure. Um, Here's the first problem. It's a visualization problem, and I don't know if it might be too hard. We can just like do it out physically. But
Okay.
if you're white here, right, and let's say that it's your opponent's move, what are you afraid about?
Rook to the place. Rook to h8. That doesn't look good for me.
Right, but
Check, and then I'll have to go G. And then it's not a big deal actually.
mm-hmm. So
It,
all right, just for the sake of time, you have to go in like 7 minutes, I think, right? Or can you stay longer? If you can stay longer, I'm
oh,
okay.
I can stay as long. I got all of today now actually,
Oh, okay, great,
as long as I need,
excellent.
or as you can take, whatever.
Yeah, okay, maybe we can go a little longer then. So the outstanding aspect of this position, and this actually happened in a real game between two masters. I think they were both around 2300. Is black actually controls all of the white's queen's escaping squares essentially. This white queen is very very close to being trapped.
Oh,
Yeah. So you'll see that we cut across like this, right? We cut across like this, and we also control these squares.
yeah, that's not pretty.
Yeah. So do you see a move that traps the white queen?
Wanna move? Yes.
Okay, and what's
That's
the move?
rook to a8.
Yeah, but white actually has a defense here.
Okay.
Try and find the defense.
Trying to think of some. No. Literally, not. Oh, yeah. Bishop takes the knight. Bishop takes the knight.
Okay. I just take your queen.
And you take the bishop. Oh, and you're down.
Yeah, knight.
Oh wait, you don't even get to do that. That's just sad. Okay, that was a bad line.
Yeah.
So I was thinking something along the lines of uh like D D3 and then E5, but you can't do that.
This.
Taken.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that looks interesting, but you can't.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
I feel like that's the idea. I feel like you want to get your knight to E4, E5, that you want to threaten that.
Okay. Okay. Um, knight to d3 is an interesting idea because of the deflection of the black queen.
Oh, is this correct? Because it actually does threaten it? Hmm.
The idea after something like knight d3 is that if black captures, then this white queen now has this square. right?
And you get your stuff back.
Yeah, then you get this back, essentially.
Okay, what if they just? Oh yeah. So, or they could just queen trade.
Yeah, yeah, that too. Wait, sorry, how do you see the queen trade? Oh, I don't see a queen trade.
You take the queen. No, no, for black.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, black can just take this, but the problem with this line obviously is that black can just take because after something like this, there's if captures, then now black has an extra piece, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
This is actually difficult.
yeah, yeah. So, but you had the right idea with the deflection. Let me just check with Stockfish. I believe the correct move is actually rook to d1 here.
Yeah,
It's the best deflection, I believe.
I think yeah that's about all that I can see here.
Oh wait, never mind. It's just saying queen b6. Whoops. Oh, sorry. Yeah, and then there's this. My bad. And now the queen is trapped.
Oh my god, we missed an entire thing.
Yeah, yeah. But
That's crazy.
yeah, but
Um,
mhm. The point here
well,
is that
well now more obviously, it's gonna be D D1,
yeah, rook d1.
because then you're forcing a queen trade. Because if you don't, then yeah,
Yeah.
you get the value.
Yeah, exactly. So how does black overcome that? How does black make it so that white doesn't have that defense? Or sorry, not this line, but rather this line. How does black make it so that white does not have this excellent defense of idea with the rook to d1?
I'm doing uh they do they play rook to h8.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, what? But then you don't get to trap the queen.
Why not?
Oh, because now it comes with check.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Exactly. And after check and takes, it's you know, uh
Over.
and now I get to take your queen as well, right?
Yeah. Uh, that's interesting.
That's interesting, right? And this actually wasn't found in the game. So the master I was playing didn't find this idea of rook here first and then rook here. He just played rook here
Yeah, that's me. Better than a master.
immediately. Exactly, exactly. But it is an interesting idea of deflection, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk about here with you. Just an interesting tactic to get your head spinning. If you calculate out a line just like you did over here and it doesn't end up working, try going to the original position, right? Like back here, and try and find something like to make the defense not work anymore. In this case, it was having the king on the back rank, but in other puzzles, it will be other ideas. Same as your games, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Here's the second problem. Um, so tell me everything that you notice in this position first and foremost.
Oh boy. Okay. The major pieces are equal. You have um looks like black is looking for an attack here.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have your pawn is close. You got a pass pawn.
Yep.
Uh and I don't know. Their king is pretty trapped.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Just one more thing that I want to bring to your attention is this rook basically can never move, right?
Why is that?
Well, find the mate for black. It's mate in two,
Oh, okay, yeah.
right? Okay. So this rook can never move. Um, white is about to queen. white is down a pawn. Black has three pawns here, and white only has two. So white is down a pawn, and black's king is bad, but it might actually be more safe than white's queen. Or sorry, black's king is bad,
Yes.
but it might be more safe than white's king. Jesus.
Yeah, maybe.
Because even if you somehow get your queen to this square, right? Let's say that you play
Yep.
here and you get your queen here. Let's say black plays a random move, get your queen here. Even then, black always just has this resource, and you're never mating him, right? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So
Oh,
yeah, I mean, what ideas come to your mind here if it's white to move and win?
just push the pawn. That's gotta be it.
Okay, if I push the pawn, then black replies with rook d2.
Then you play the rook to take rook take pawn.
This?
Yes.
True. True. What was the refutation here? Okay, you know what? Maybe I play queen here. But no, this doesn't work. Hmm.
Eh. Big brain plays.
No, there's an idea. It might be this. Yeah, I think it was this. But after trades,
Okay.
huh? Wait. Damn. I can't.
I have broken the puzzle with my genius move.
Oh, this move literally does not work. Okay, yeah, there we go. Okay, this is the move. Whoops, my bad. Uh,
I see.
yeah,
Okay.
it's been like a week since I looked at this.
Okay. Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what now then?
Yeah, yeah. So unfortunately, this pawn can't queen. Like this.
Yeah, that doesn't look good.
Yeah. What else do you want to try?
Okay. Uh, Something like so. Get the pawn on E on the E file out of the way.
Oh, this.
Yeah, because actually that didn't do much. I kind of want the queen on like F6 and then you take and then on B1 takes B7 and then you check and do something, I don't know.
Okay, so this is your idea. Uh,
That move? Yeah, that we discussed this.
yeah. Sorry. What's your idea? You can just play it out on the board if you want.
Okay. Well, I don't believe that this would work. Oh, actually, you were right. Something like this, and then like I don't even know what they do here. You play a move. Yeah, okay. And then I'd go like here. And this was kind of where my thinking was going, but then they just escape.
I think after this here, there's no more checks.
It just ends and it's sad.
Yeah.
So, so my last idea,
Mm-hmm. Okay. And after I'm queen.
and I'm sad. Um, then
Okay. But what are you accomplishing?
I'm threatening mate.
Oh, true.
Checkmate. Checkmate.
Okay, so then I have to move my rook.
And checkmate. Oh no, I'm not thinking. Okay. Do over. Um, hmm. then you gotta move it down there. And fine is don't want to say it's over. I want to believe. Oh, hold up. I think I see something here. No, that doesn't accomplish anything for me. And I think it's done. I think that was not the correct one.
Yeah. Your first move was actually correct. If you want to know the solution.
Bruh. Oh, this one?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Um,
I just didn't go the right places with it.
yeah, basically. The problem is that you want to queen this pawn, but it's just not possible because of the resource that black has of rook d2. Okay? So no matter how you try and
Yeah.
promote this pawn, it's just not going to work. Right? That's just the problem. Like you can never push. And if you want to be clever and play something like this, to sacrifice your queen and get your pawn
Oh,
pushing, well, first of all, black doesn't have to capture, right? I could just sit here. I could even just play this again. And
that is
what do you do?
sad. That is so sad.
Yeah,
Here? Oh,
no, there's nothing. Like if you take this
yeah.
one, then now I can take.
There's just nothing.
Yeah. Yeah,
Thank you
so
for
after this, the idea is that the black queen is now gonna get moved to something like this, and now the rook can no longer come to the d file. So now you can put your rook here, and now you're safe to push this.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see.
or you can just push here, and then after queen here, then rook here.
Okay, that's very awesome. Wait, why is? Oh yeah, I see why it's not the first move. Okay. What about what about here go back to the start of this. Here. So I play this and then here.
Okay. Oh, whoops, sorry, mouse slip. Just,
Yeah, then there and then here.
oh, interesting.
Then you take the L again.
Right. So what's the idea here then? After something like this, mm,
Oh, that's why they don't do it.
true. Very good. Very good.
Alright, I see.
All right, great.
Yeah, there's some hard puzzles.
Yeah. I hope you enjoyed that. We'll take a look at
Yeah,
one more thing.
definitely. Okay.
In this move, in this position, you'd agree that white is completely winning, yes?
Sure. Yes, yeah. I just noticed the pass pawn. Yeah, I think you are completely winning.
Okay. Unfortunately, in the game, rook takes h6 was played, and
That is so sad. Why?
yeah. So why is this bad for white? What can black now do?
Because they didn't, they can, I don't know, I just feel like king f5 would have been better.
Okay.
Uh, um, what can black do? They can go king to g, 7.
Can I just check?
No.
The the idea.
Actually, I'm not. Yeah, I was looking at that. I was definitely looking at that. But then he just takes it, right?
Do you see the idea now?
Oh, I see the problem.
Yeah. Right.
That's why it's a blunder.
Okay.
You only had to see a couple moves ahead.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Typically, I actually don't know what the best move here is. What would you think?
Sure. Oh, definitely Queen F, King F5.
After King f5. what does block do?
Then what?
I just push, and you come and take me, I assume?
I think I have something more interesting here. I'd push my pawn.
Oh, that is very interesting. And if I just
And
push
then uh
knight
what
can
was
stop
it?
me queening. Give this chuck,
So
arguing.
something to do with the rook and winning it and all that.
Like this, right?
Yeah, but you can't
I can just
because of
okay.
that move.
If
Then
change
you take
even.
and then you'd move your king.
Actually, this doesn't.
So yeah, it's not bad
No, this is actually winning. What's the correct continuation then?
for black
Oh, here
or
I just queen. There we go.
oh okay yeah
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, okay. But yeah, no, this pawn can definitely be a nuisance. Let me actually see what Stockfish has to say. So Stockfish actually plays this move. So
Oh, genius. Genius. What is that, mate in 39?
yeah, probably something ridiculous. But yeah, um, basically in a winning position, sometimes it's best to just not lose. You don't have to.
True.
Yeah, if that makes sense. Okay, great. Let's take a look at the Petrov defense next, and then we'll do your game
Yeah.
analysis, and then we'll just call that a day. Is that okay?
Yeah, no problem. You set up a lot of stuff.
Yeah, yeah, no, I don't know why I thought we'd be a lot quicker. I thought you just get
Maybe,
through the Queen's Gambit stuff really fast, but we actually spent a good amount of time on it. So,
maybe we could do like another date. Like,
yeah,
what do you have open?
we can talk about this later. Like,
Okay,
you want to do
okay.
it next week sometime, like even the same time?
Sure.
No, okay. We'll figure it out. Anyways, this is the Petrov defense, right? Just knight
Mm.
f6. It was like named after some Russian guy, probably named Mr. Defense.
Yep.
Uh, anyways, White has a lot of options, right? Obviously he can like play knight takes, which is, you know,
The wrong move.
it's not necessarily the wrong move. Knight c3 can also be played, and yeah. Why would you say that this is wrong?
Because then black plays D and D6.
d6.
And
Okay, just come back.
and then there and then
Okay.
uh something's happening in here. Um, probably like oh no, but then you just okay. Victory Royale.
Is it?
I couldn't tell you. Who's positive here? I can't tell.
It's 3-on-3.
Okay, so that was bad. But I'm pretty sure that's the line that you're meant to play to defend it. It's something like that.
Yeah. Um, After knight f3, a lot of people,
Oh, sorry.
no worries. Instead of playing queen e7, which okay, let me refute it with Stockfish power. After d4, I can just push. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Cheating. He's cheating.
Yeah,
But yeah.
I just push e5. Yeah, I don't know why I'm not seeing things terrible. But after knight takes e4 is the most common line. It's like the classical variation.
Oh wait, why didn't I do that? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the most common reply is just knight c3, and then after takes, you have this idea as white of castling queenside. So you just after, like both players just play pretty normally, and yeah, white starts launching this kingside attack, and black wants to just survive the attack and then eventually maybe retaliate on the queen side. Okay,
Okay.
so that's like
Yeah, that seems pretty
simple.
simple.
Yeah, like if everything goes to plan, this is what happens. Obviously, people don't let everything go to plan. Actually, like knight c3, you can, or sorry, instead of knight c3, you can have d4, for example, which is the Nimzowitsch attack. And after something like d5, the pawns are just fixed in the center. Something like bishop d3, knight c6, castles, then just bishop e7. And as you can see, this doesn't really like this is all
A
like
queen's gambit. No, I'm joking. The middle is moved.
yeah, yeah. This is a very very challenging line, at least for someone like me, because this is a lot of theory in this line, and I would hate to play it. And it's actually the reason that I don't like going into Petrov's like very very deep, because there's like 10 more moves on theory after this. Like this exact position, if I open the Lichess database, yeah, like there's like 2,000 games of this position. So absolutely ridiculous.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Like 2,000 variations?
games. Yeah.
Oh, that's not that many.
Really, 2,000 games is typically a lot. Like we're how
Oh,
many moves in now?
doesn't that just mean this is like a common thing that a lot of people play?
Yeah. So these are just master level games too. So 2,000 like, and the top four games are all by Gary Kasparov. Two against Patrick,
Oh,
for example.
interesting.
Yeah, and Kasparov won a lot of games playing this. I think this is actually known as a Chigorin at this point. But anyways, this is a line. I wouldn't recommend going into it. I wouldn't even recommend studying it. In fact, I would almost always recommend against d4, and instead I would recommend that you play Queen e2, which is known as a Cosio. It's also known as a Lasker variation since Lasker played it. After Black's reply, Queen e7. If Black was something like this, then you just have this, winning a piece, right?
Yep.
So after the only reply, Queen e7, you can just play d3 anyways, and after knight f6, you have a lot of options. The most obvious is to just continue developing and ignore everything. And after something like trades, Black just develops, White develops, and there's really not much to talk about, right? This just goes into the end game.
Yep.
So yeah, that's pretty much all I had set up for the Petrov. Uh, I'm not like an expert on it by any means. I don't play it all the time. It's just like a cool line.
Oh no, I don't play it either. I wanted to learn about it more because it seemed very complicated.
Yeah. Like if you really, really want to dedicate hours to like studying the Petrov, then go ahead and definitely learn this as Black, the Nimja Witch Attack, or sometimes known as a Chigorin, because like I said, it's a very very strong tool, especially if you know all of the lines of theory that your opponent doesn't. You'll find yourself moving really quickly in the opening, and in blitz or rapid games, you'll find that moving quickly in the opening is a large advantage for you over your opponents, because your opponent will be trying to figure out how to play the opening while you already know it, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So let's just end off with the game analysis, and then we'll save the rest for another time. Okay.
Alrighty.
So there's actually
I don't remember this game.
oh uh
Was it good?
no, you lost. It was pretty bad. That's why I'm showing it.
Oh, alright. Oh, did you like look at this yourself?
Yeah, I looked at this myself. You actually looked at it yourself too, I think, because you had a computer analysis on it. So,
Okay. Well, I mean, I usually do that for every game so I can look at my mistakes and get
oh,
better.
every single game?
Yeah, unless it was just like not pretty easy, clean sweep, not very interesting.
Yeah. I like to evaluate all my losses, but I don't really do that for my wins unless I found like a really cool tactic or something. Then I like to look at my games. Yeah.
Bask in that glory. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyways,
I mean, I feel like I'm still at the point where even if I win, I make mistakes. So I just do it forever, every game.
yeah, no, for sure. That's definitely a good idea. Uh, anyways, you're against someone rated 1300, so it wasn't
Oh yeah.
like similar rating to what you have. I'm pretty sure you'll go up if you keep playing, but yeah. Anyways, your
Mhm.
opponent played this, and you guys went into the French defense, which I found a little weird. Now, typically, this knight move is actually a blunder already, because it leaves room for these ideas of f4 and of c3. And okay, here's how I want you to think of it. Okay, so both you and your opponent have two pawns in play, right?
Okay, yeah.
You can make it 4, and your opponent has a hard time even making it 3 because playing f6 is something that like they're just so discouraged to do. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I think I know what move I played here. Was it knight to g3?
So knight g3 is illegal, but knight f3 is what you played.
What? Wait, hold up. Sorry, let me look. Oh, yes, yeah. I meant the knight on g10. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this move, like, it's not a terrible move, but it basically just makes your opponent's blunder not matter anymore because now you're not pushing f4 and c3.
Yeah,
So yeah, you
I
basically
definitely should have gone f4 and then played that move.
yeah, because your opponent's c pawn is basically stuck, so you kind of want to take advantage of that by building a big center yourself. But anyways, your opponent immediately attacked in the center, playing f6. Uh, you don't want to take again. Remember, preserving tension. Like you can imagine your position if just right, like don't you like this already? Like you have your knight ideas, you can castle quickly. Your opponent is still like a million moves away from castling, and like you can have a nice game here because of the fact that you didn't waste tempo by capturing. He takes f6, right? Because by doing this, now your opponent is actually further developed than you are, which is hilarious. Your opponent has 4 things out, you only have 2. That makes sense.
Yeah, this was an horrendous opening.
Yeah, you got your bishop out, and then you played knight c3, which it considers an inaccuracy just because of the fact that you could have had an equal amount of pawns in the center, but you chose not to. So yeah. Anyways, your opponent played bishop e4, and you just castled, which I'm okay with. And then knight e4 is a blunder, like a big one. And do you see why?
Oh no. Uh, Book. Uh, I couldn't tell you I do.
Okay.
Um, is it? I'm pretty sure it's just because you just take it,
And then
then take the L. Actually, do you do as a calculation?
so
Probably the pawn to d5.
okay, this just loses a knight, but I mean takes. Sorry. Okay, this well, first of all, your knight is might be lost, but even if your opponent doesn't want to calculate anything, uh,
Yeah, I don't think that doesn't look like the correct line.
this is your idea, right?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
does
you
that.
cannot
That
castle.
doesn't go so well.
Yeah, and now after this, you don't have anything again.
So what was it then? What was the big blunder? Now I'm curious because I don't think I could find that.
After takes, you'll notice that these pawns are doubled, right? Which means that they can
Yeah.
support each other, and also that both of these lanes are basically clear. There's nothing that can support these pawns. These are double isolated pawns. So you can just take advantage of that immediately by playing knight g5 and picking up this pawn, and you're just up a clean pawn.
I see.
So yeah, this is something that like I would actually see instantly. And it's not like a matter of like me being a good chess player. It's just me knowing
Uh,
that doubled pawns are bad news. Double isolated
I'm
pawns.
not used to that pattern.
Yeah,
The double pawns in the center. I don't think I see that at all.
yeah. Just doubled pawns in general, anywhere on the board, are typically a weakness that you can take advantage of. So I would create this weakness immediately by capturing if my opponent gave me this chance. But instead, you play knight e2. It's a pretty big mistake.
Oh, now thinking about that, I don't, not even calculating that. I'm taking the knight.
Yeah, good. Your brain's already started learning.
Okay.
This I find weird as well. Your a3 move. I get that you wanted to put your bishop away, push the bishop away, but This bishop isn't actually doing anything on this diagonal.
Oh no, I think I know what game this is. Oh, well, we'll see. This is gonna be like really embarrassing bad ending. But yeah.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Okay, but yeah.
I disagree with a3 just because in principle it doesn't make sense. You're helping your opponent's bishop, which isn't doing an awful lot. Like yes, it's slicing in like this, but you just have so many other prospects, so many other ideas in this game, and you want to play like this. But instead, you played a3, and now your opponent starts to get their pieces where they actually want them. Uh, and same with b4. Like, why are you pushing this knight away? Is this knight like doing like God's work or something? Is this knight worth 10 queens here on
I
this rook?
wanted to trap him, but he has a good square.
Yeah, he can just come out to c4. He could even gone back, and it would have been just as fine. Anyways, you play
Yeah.
rook e1, but now you can see this problem. Like, his knights are everything that he wants them to be. His bishop is doing everything that he wants it to do. Like, he basically got everything for nothing. Like, you basically paid someone to like yeah, I don't know how to explain it, but
I gave it to him.
yeah, you
Free.
just gave it to him from free. And your opponent just like dallies around. You finally play knight e5, but it's too late now. So I'm actually interested. Why didn't you just capture here? Like what made you want to not capture?
I didn't want the rook to capture it back.
Okay, why not?
Uh,
Are you afraid of like checkmate?
I couldn't recall exactly, but just looking at the position, I don't like it. I don't like the restriction of my queen. That's a good way to get out of it there.
Yeah, I mean now where's this rook going? He can't go like he has to like this is the most active square that he can go to. All right, I guess he can come like to the middle and get traded off. But then again, double isolated pawns, right? This knight is now loose. Double isolated pawns. All good things for white. Like even this,
Yeah, that's an amazing move.
yeah, you're starting to push this pawn now as well, and like it's all coming down. It's all coming down. But yeah, so this is what I would have gone for without like a second hesitation. But yeah, um,
Yes, I was more interested in attacking the queen.
yeah. The problem with this is that he can just capture. And now how are you recapturing with your rook, right? But now he just gets this castle in, and now he can start attacking you for real. And yeah, instead he played queen d6, which I found weird, and he played knight takes c4. So you traded away the strong knight that you brought all the way over here, and you just traded it off for a knight that wasn't actually controlling any important squares.
Must attack queen. I think that was my brain this game.
Yeah, that's a little unfortunate, but oh well. So here he took and whatnot, but I actually want to go back because after after d takes c4, um, after queen e2, there's actually an unstoppable mate in 4.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I know, crazy stuff, right?
Uh, I'm nuts. After for black?
Yeah,
Oh, oh. Well, that's gonna be bishop to f2 takes.
I can't go here
And
because he'll come down and I'll take.
so now my plan is ruined. Actually, no, it's not. Queen to f4.
Thanks for the free queen.
Okay. Yeah, no, doesn't work. Doesn't work. That's
Oh,
not the correct move.
yeah.
Must think. Must think more. Probably. You just want to get the bishop out of the way and also force him to do like take it or something. So probably like no.
Are you ready? I want to tell you, just for the sake of time.
All right, all right. Give it to me. What? Oh, this pattern. Yeah, that's the that's the same thing as the force pattern.
Yeah, and this actually stayed on the board for a couple of moves, so he could have done it here instead of taking your knight. Then he could
That's
have done
so
it again
sad.
here. Yeah,
I'm s- I'm the worst player ever.
and then
Let's
he gave it
go.
to him again,
I did.
and now you finally stopped it. But yeah, the game went on for a little bit longer, but really nothing interesting to talk about except for this terrible, terrible. Just I don't know what this is. Like you just had blunder after blunder here, and then made it. Yeah,
Yikers.
yeah.
That's probably one of my worst ever games.
I don't know. I don't know. You seem to have some very, very questionable games there, Mr. M8.
All of them?
I mean, not all of them. I'm
Oh
just saying
boy.
some games are questionable. Yeah.
uh, Maybe I'm suppressing the memories of all the garbage games I've played. The last one I played was pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. But you know, we learn from our garbage games, and that's why I like showing them.
Definitely.
All right. It is now 3:30, which means we actually went for like
An hour.
yeah,
That's a lot of content right there.
yeah. I hope you enjoyed that. Do you have any
I
questions?
definitely did. That was great. Any questions?
Yeah.
Um, no, probably not. Like, that was pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that.
Okay. Great.
I feel like I got better with learning from all the puzzles
Mm-hmm.
and my own games and getting better at the openings.
Okay. Great. Uh, Thank you so much. Um, I hope you have a great rest of your day. And yeah, see you next
Yeah,
week.
you see. Also, what is your YouTube channel now? Because now I'm interested.
Oh, I'll send you a link to the video. How about that?
Okay, sure.
All right, great. See ya.
Goodbye.